How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. It helps out me a ton. You guys get plenty of fun stuff. So, I love Kenjaku. I made a video talking about why he's the best antagonist so far, right now. I think Sukino will pass him up at some point, but I think he has thoroughly surpassed Mahito at this point, and dear God, I love this chapter. So, yeah, Kenjaku wakes this woman up, and if you notice that this was Sasaki from the very beginning, the girl from the occult club at the beginning of the series with Yuji and Iguchi, the other dude from the occult club, if you noticed that right at the beginning and remembered who she was, good for you, because I had no idea. I'm like, who is this random woman? Okay, this is just a random woman, so we get to see like what Kenjaku is doing / been doing, whatever. Turns out, no, this is Sasaki, the girl from the class. He wakes her up and says, "My apologies, you're inside a barrier, and it's the place for a death match, and it's not really much of an honor." So Sasaki's like, "Can you just not do that to my house?" And Kenjaku finds this kind of funny, but he says, "No, I went through quite a few hoops to get here, and not too far outside is an old execution ground. So yeah, it's got a radius of about 5-6 kilometers. So yeah, pretty big area. But yeah, this makes sense for that old execution ground being the center of the barrier because, well, it's probably absolutely steeped in cursed energy." Kenjaku keeps going on, and he says, "I can't make any unreasonable conditions because, I had to jump through these hoops, and I gotta make things work how I can make things work." Remember, putting on the culling games is a very big deal. He's going through a lot to set all this up. So yeah, he tells her, "You can leave if you want." She asks where she is, and this is when we get the best line of the entire chapter. "This is the rift between dreams and reality. The cursed realm." So cool line with him like extending the hand to help her up. And then after this, he tells her, "Be careful, move with caution. There are impatient people out there ready to kill." You can tell he's saying this with such a soft, kind voice, but we already know and can feel that his presence is very menacing and kind of dark overall. I mean, he's talking about a death match that's going to take place, well, on top of her house. So yeah, I mean, kind of menacing in the first place. But yeah, it's just this weird, kind, but menacing, I don't know. I absolutely loved the feel of all of this going on, especially with the fact that all of the backgrounds are completely black for this first chunk of the chapter. Now, I have told people before that I don't think the lack of background should be used too terribly often. However, in this chapter, it is during a specific chunk of the chapter because I believe, at least, this is how I'm interpreting it, Sasaki can't see anything. She's in the curse realm, but she's not a sorcerer. She can't see curses, sense cursed energy, do all of this stuff. So it's very possible that all she can really see is Kenjaku. That's possibly why he is having to guide her out, not only to keep them safe from, the stuff going on around them, but also because they can't see where they're going because they're in complete pitch darkness. That just really set an ominous tone for what's going on, even though it's a very innocent thing happening. He's just helping somebody outside of the zone so they can have their chance to be free. It's actually a good thing happening. That's good. Somebody doesn't have to die in there. Great. Awesome. Yay. But it's just doesn't feel good. This is also when we get our only single little tiny sneak peek preview into the inside of one of these zones without it being just pitch black. And oh my god, the culling games are going to be insane. There's this like giant kind of ratty face, toothy looking kind of curse thing that's just like exploded. There's like vultures or whatever, maybe flying curses, I don't know, flying all over the place. Looked like there was a couple people on top of the roof that might have killed this thing. It looks wild in there, and I cannot wait. This is gonna be dope. But then Kenjaku, man, it's just so good. Anyway, he says, "I almost forgot to tell you, thank you for getting along with my son." Oh my god, he's talking about Yuji. We already know Yuji is his son, but just to hear him bring it up and tell Sasaki, especially this, thank you for getting along with him. And then we get Iguchi calling out to Sasaki, and she finally wakes up, and she's out of the area. She's around a bunch of people just outside the barrier. And this is when I finally was like, oh, wait. Because when Kenjaku said, thank you for getting along with my son, Yuji immediately popped into my head. But I still didn't realize that this was the person that went to school with him in the occult club. And then when I saw Iguchi's face pop up, that's when it finally hit me. So I was like, oh my god, he's talking about his son, he's talking about Yuji, what the, and I just keep going, and I'm like, wait a minute, these are the people from the occult club. 2 chapters ago, Megumi thought it was weird that Yuji was already a participant because he ate Sukuna's finger of his own free will because they had found it and they were in a bad spot, so he did help. I mentioned in my review of chapter 158 that it's possible through Kenjaku manipulating the situation and causing the events to happen in a specific way to lead to a specific outcome, and that outcome coming true and possibly placing some kind of binding vow or something on the cursed object itself, possibly, probably, kinda, almost definitely means, yeah, Kenjaku fed Yuji the cursed object by some absolutely not fair loophole. I'm just saying that right now. Kenjaku's using a loophole here that is not fair, but I love this so much. I love Kenjaku. I don't care if I'm saying it too much. This man is phenomenal. Get out of here, Mahito. Bye. Bye. Get out. So this is when we finally get to see these barriers from the outside, and they are just as imposing from the outside. Huge black pillars that just extend straight up to the heavens. A pretty imposing, terrifying sight if you were just an average civilian, I'm just saying. Anyway, we cut over to the gang, being Yuji, Megumi, Hikari, Hoshi, and Panda, and we're getting everything together, figuring out exactly what we're doing, where our objective is the angel where we thought they were, and eventually we settle on the fact of Hikari and Panda going to Tokyo number 2, Yuji and Megumi going to Tokyo number 1, and then Hoshi being on standby outside of the zone. Hoshi isn't a huge fan of this, but Hikari makes a point that we need somebody to be on standby, it's just the best option. So they accept, and Yuji and Megumi have this nice little bickering moment where Yuji's like, no, I think me and Megumi should actually be on different teams, and Megumi's like, no, shut up, yes. So it was a nice little bickering moment between them with Panda telling them not to fight. And then we hop to November 12th at 12 p.m. We have 7 days and 12 hours until Sumiki, Megumi's sister, has their appointment to, well, you know, be a participant of the game and actually participate in the game, because remember, there is a time limit on it before, you know, curse technique removal, aka dead. And all of our players get asked if they want to enter the zone, knowing the rules, and of course they all say yes, no problem, let's go. Polling games are underway. Can I also mention, I'm pretty sure Kenjaku just walked every single one of those people out one by one, or at least house by house, so you could at least get a family at the same time. But Jesus God, how long did that take? Anyway, this chapter was phenomenal. Just from the presence, the air about it, the air about Kenjaku, the feeling of him being menacing, yet very kind and soft at the same time, and kind of blunt and a little joking, and I don't know. He fills so many boxes, and I'm going to gush about him again and just ramble. I don't care. Anyway, the chapter was amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I absolutely loved it, if you can't tell. And I got way too much editing to do on this one, so I'm going to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.